If you haven't picked up on this fact about me, I love baseball. I was able to play from when I was about 5 or 6 all the way up to high school, and then I played some college baseball and was very fortunate to play a couple of years of professional baseball. I do a lot of coaching now and absolutely love it. It's a great joy, and both my boys play baseball as well. And there's a theme in coaching that is extremely true in the game of baseball, but it's even more true, if you will, in repair work or recovery work. It's true not just for the unfaithful, but also for the betrayed. And if you can't grab hold of this principle, it's safe to say that your repair work on either side of the betrayal is going to be stunted and is actually probably not ever going to soar until you can learn this principle. I know that's a big statement to say your recovery will never soar until you learn this lesson, but I will tell you it's a guarantee. This principle is really life-changing, and I can tell you when I talk to people if they've learned the principle or not. You see, in baseball, we call it being your own best coach. In repair work, there's the understanding that your healing is not their responsibility. You may be unfaithful, and you may have committed gross atrocity in your life, and you may have wrecked your life morally, and you may have wrecked it in such a way that you wonder if it can be repaired. And I have to tell you, you can repair it. I don't know that you can save your relationship. I just don't. But I can tell you that you can heal yourself. But you're going to have to realize that your healing is your responsibility. Your progress is your responsibility. If you're a betrayed spouse, the truth is your healing is also your responsibility. Your progress is up to you. And I know that at some level there's a desire and there's kind of a misnomer that says, well, you had an affair, so you helped me heal. And don't get me wrong. I mean, there's just a real solid truth to the fact that the unfaithful spouse absolutely needs to do all they can to create safety and empathy and compassion and remorse and do work. But they can't make the betrayed spouse do recovery work. The betrayed spouse's progress is their own responsibility. Now, I certainly celebrate the idea that there's only so far that the betrayed can go relationally if the unfaithful is not willing to do whatever it takes. But what I want to hone in on today is, listen, your progress is your responsibility. We, as unfaithful, fall into great error when we feel like, look, I know I've cheated or I know I've done this, but I've done so much good. These people, right? These people, my spouse, whatever, they should be doing more to help me heal. It's never as true as when you're dealing with the church. And I'll just be real honest with you. I think the thing about the church, they say, is the church are excellent marksmen at shooting their own wounded rather than helping them. And it's so easy for us as unfaithful to get angry. But it's also easy for the betrayed to get angry at how the church, not all the time, but sometimes or even oftentimes can mishandle us. And we feel like, look, I know I've blown it, but help me, like pursue me, do what you can to make me feel safe. And more times than not, that's not the case. And so we, specifically unfaithful, start to get angry and we lash out and we feel like, look, after all that I've done, why aren't you doing more to help me? And there's kind of a bottoming out that we unfaithfuls come to. But let me speak to the bottoming out that the betrayed comes to too. There's kind of a point where you feel like, look, I'm the victim here, but I feel like I'm just kind of being left for dead. Samantha was absolutely left for dead. So much so that the church had the audacity to say, listen, Samantha needs time alone. Please respect her crisis and leave her to kind of focus on her family. The unwritten statement was, look, don't talk to her, leave her alone, leave that family alone. And so she sat back going, I didn't do anything, and nobody's calling, nobody's checking on me, nobody's reaching out. Like, people have ostracized me, and that story repeats itself thousands of times every week. And there is this bottoming out that both spouses come to. It's a bottoming out, but it's a realization. And it's a hard, lonely, sober realization that we finally come to where we say, you know what? My own progress is my own responsibility. It's the same thing in baseball. You have to do the work. You have to work out. You have to work away from practice. You have to work hard away from games. Only you can be your own best coach. I'll coach you, but if you don't pay the price and if you don't do the work, I can only take you so far. And the reality is that I really believe that our personal repair work or even our marital repair or restoration will soar when we realize, wait, I can't put my progress on you. I have to be my own coach. I have to do the work. I have to buy the course. I have to go to an intensive. I have to read. If you come from faith, I have to pray. I have to do the heavy lifting myself. I can't put my progress on somebody else. I can't put my healing on somebody else. I can heal me. And I'll tell you, there's a moment of great freedom. While it is a great heavy moment of sobriety when we say, look, I'm going to be my own best coach. That does not mean we don't go to support groups or don't have accountability or don't even have coaches in our lives. But we can have all the coaches we want. If we don't do the work, if we don't digest the information, if we don't kick our own butt, if we don't discipline our own selves, we miss the opportunity for our lives and our own personal recovery work, regardless of what side we're on, to flourish and have meaning and have substance and to feel like, you know what, I'm going to be okay. Now I know I talk to people very frequently who will say, but Samuel, you don't understand. And today I want to tell you there's no but Samuels to this. I know if your spouse doesn't want to do the work, there comes a point where you have to say, okay, I can't keep chasing you. I can't keep pursuing you. I can't do the work for you. So if you're not going to do the work, then I'm going to have to do X, Y, or Z. Man, I get it. But for what we're talking about today, unfaithful or betrayed, there's a point, and I hope that you hit this point. I hope that you maybe sober up, or maybe see through the clouds, or maybe just digest this information and realize, look, you know what? My progress is not their responsibility. I can do all that I can today, and that's all that I can do, and that's all right, and I'm going to coach myself. That does not mean I can do this on my own. I don't need anybody else, or any programs, or any third-party expert help. No, no, no. This means, you know what? I'm going to take that help. I'm going to go to that course, that class, whatever it is. I'm going to digest it and do the heavy lifting. I don't need a babysitter. I don't need someone to chase me. I'm going to chase myself. And if you are truly chasing recovery work, and if you really believe that your healing is your responsibility, it'll show up in the fruit that comes out of your life. It'll be indicative eventually by the fruit, the humility, the sobriety, the grace, the character, the integrity, the sense of remorse at your mistakes, or the sense of acceptance at what, unfortunately, you've been handed in life. It will be evident. I can see it. I can hear it. And I can tell you so many other people who have digested this truth can attest to it, that there's a certain sound. There's a certain set of eyes when you see, you know what? They've accepted what they've either done to themselves or had done to them, and their progress is their own responsibility.